Hey there, guys, and welcome to the China 30 for 30. We are still going. Who would have thought, right, that we would make it this far in? Well, we got another banger today. This one, of course, is going to be about oh Harvard. Well, Harvard, so beautiful, right? But the funny part is now they've decided to even take this thing a little bit further. Not only have they let spies into the school, they're letting them make speeches now in front of everyone. What a wonderful thing, right? This isn't just a mistake. This isn't just ignorance. This is betrayal at this point. Right as the U.S. government finally, wakes up and starts banning Chinese nationals with CCP ties from entering, our elite universities, what does Harvard do? They hand the mic to a Chinese student with direct ties to the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, and they let her give the official commencement speech. I mean, you can't make this up. Okay, her name is Yurong Luana Jiang. Okay, and she stood on stage at Harvard Kennedy School and quoted Xi Jinping in her speech. Yes, that's right, Xi Jinping, the dictator of China, the man who oversees censorship, the crushing of Hong Kong, the threat to Taiwan, and the genocide of Uyghurs. She quoted him, and Harvard proudly posted this stuff on their official website. But let's talk about who she is here, because you're gonna see the pictures of her and you're gonna think, oh, she's some cute Chinese girl. No, okay, she has direct ties with the Chinese government. Okay, and here's what it is. She's a volunteer and supporter of the China Biodiversity Conservation and Green Development Foundation. Sounds harmless, right? Except it's not. That foundation is run by Zhou Jinfeng, known as a figure in the Chinese government, okay? Zhou isn't some random scientist, okay, who's known, he's just no, he's just a random person in the government, okay? He's a former member of the Chinese People Political Consultative Conference, one of the top political advisory bodies of the CCP, okay? Direct tie here to CCP. This foundation, it's obviously state run. Okay, it reports to the China Association for Science and Technology. It's registered with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. In other words, it's part of the system. Okay, and she's not just brushing shoulders with it; she's working for it. That's not a coincidence, right? That's not just something random. That's connection. Okay, this is infiltration. It's not inspiration. But here, let's just say this, right? This isn't guilt by association. This is guilt by participation. Okay, she's actively involved with CCP controlled organization. Her family is connected to people at the very top of that system, and Harvard put her on stage. Okay, Harvard, one of the most respected institutions in the world, handed a CCP mouthpiece the megaphone. My gosh, what is like? I've heard of soft power, but this is what soft power looks like on steroids. This is how the Chinese Communist Party infiltrates American institutions, not with guns, not with tanks, but with speeches and smiles. Right? They're gonna put pretty girls on stages and have them do these communist speeches in front of people, and then people like Harvard, these organizations like Harvard are gonna put it on their website. And the timing is the thing. It couldn't be more insulting. While the U.S. is finally banning students that are affiliated with the CCP from studying at top schools, Harvard is literally giving one of them the spotlight. Not just by letting her study there, but by allowing her to represent the university. My gosh. Quoting Xi Jinping in front of thousands at Harvard in the United States. Wow. Imagine for a second that we had let a young Soviet agent, right, just come out, give a graduation speech at Harvard during the Cold War. Okay. People would have lost their minds. They would have called it treason. but but here in 2025, we're told, to clap and nod and everything's fine. She spoke about diversity and how things could be better. The problem is not us. The problem is that on your side, on the side of China, they don't want to be friends. They want to control the world. Okay? We're told it's about diversity. We're told it's about inclusion. That's what she mentions. She mentions diversity and inclusion because the CCP is so diverse. They've got so many different groups of people in their government, or genders in their government. Jeez. And we're told not to question it. But let's be real. The CCP has a long standing with using students as tools to collect information. And that's what she's doing. They're going to spread ideology and influence narratives. They're going to send these people overseas to fund their education and ask for loyalty in return. And America lets it happen. Until now, it's time to stop. Finally, we're waking up. Finally, visas are being revoked. Finally, we're saying no more. But Harvard didn't get the memo, apparently. Or maybe they did and ignored it. Because this isn't just ignorance. This is something worse, okay? This is either willful blindness or just complicity, okay? One of the two. If a student stands on stage at a U.S. university and quotes a genocidal dictator, someone needs to ask why. Someone needs to ask who's writing the speeches, who's approving them, and who's benefiting from them. Let me tell you who benefits. The CCP. The regime that can't win with truth, so it plays games with, things like this. They want their students to look polished, westernized, sophisticated. They want to use elite American schools as a vehicle for legitimacy. And guess what? Harvard just gave it to them. This is a time for vigilance, not vanity. Our top universities should be protecting American values, not promoting foreign ones. They should be training the next generation of leaders, not handing over their platforms to people who serve a regime that hates everything that our country stands for. If Harvard wants to act like a global university, maybe it should move to Beijing. Because right now, it sure as hell isn't representing American interests. We cannot be naive anymore. We cannot let spies walk around on our stages, speak into our microphones, and smile for our cameras. We're not in the Cold War anymore. The war, it's warm right now. It's pretty warm. And it's happening right here. It's happening in our schools and our classrooms. It's happening on graduation stages. It's happening here on YouTube. They're infiltrating YouTube, our media, our universities, the very stages that our children are standing on. Harvard, you failed the country. The country deserves answers. And they need to go after Harvard to stop them. And no more foreign students. No more. For so many years. Something. Because what they're doing now is wrong. It's a bad thing for our country. I hope you like this video. Like, comment, subscribe. More 30 for 30 coming as always. And may even continue after the 30. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how 30 for 30 does. But thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And have a good day.